filming predominantly in the UK this season, right? How did that change from your experiences filming in New Zealand for season 1?
I mean, a lot of the sets we built and the costumes we wore came with us to the other side of the world. So the weirdest bit was, entering an unfamiliar studio and going through the doors and being met with something you'd worked on 2 years prior in New Zealand.
Yeah, how strange.
So you kind of brought things with you. It didn't feel like a whole new world. It felt like a marriage of the familiar and the new.
Yeah.
And the show wouldn't be here without our time in New Zealand as well. We filmed at such a specific time, and the crew was so generous and so amazing as the crew are in the UK, but we definitely, I feel like, take that experience with us and took it for season 2.
Yeah, because it's a long time that you guys have been filming, really. I mean, from 2020 to now with a break for COVID. And how different are all your lives from then? I mean, that's probably a good question for you, Tyroe. Like, you were literally a little bubba when you first began.
Yeah, I mean, you guys remember
You were how old?
You're 14.
I was shorter than Markella.
It's not
My voice was probably higher. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've grown up. It was like daycare. But like, yeah, I'm grown now. I'm still not used to it. I don't think any of us really will get used to it because this is just ridiculous. But it's a privilege. It's so crazy. Like, such a privilege.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what about you, Markella? You were quite young. You're all still young. Let's face it.
Yeah, everyone.
Some of us.
Yeah, no, you are.
I'm actually the age now that Markella was when she started.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
how
okay.
weird.
had
That's
that
so
crazy.
surreal.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
crazy.
Wow,
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
old, man.
But it's so nice. It's so nice we're still here.
So were you all living?
dead.
Yeah, yeah.
I realized as I said it, I was like, oh god, that's dire.
No, but it's true. I mean,
morbid.
you're in the presence of Sauron sitting
Yeah,
in
you
like.
watch
I know,
that.
I gotta watch my back.
Scary stuff.
All of you guys, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been a bit of a different experience filming this season. I mean, obviously, yeah, as you say, you're all kind of split up a little bit. This is probably more a question for you, Charlie. Like, how different did it feel knowing where your character was going to go and what that meant for, I guess, your relationship with all these
Everyone
very disparate
else.
players, even though
Yeah.
they're in different parts of Middle Earth?
It's been cool. I mean, for me, it was about trying to connect the character to the first season in the sense that Halbrand was Sauron in the same way that Anatar and Sauron are Sauron. So, like, I wanted to try and make sure that there was a psychological through line and a real connection between the two of them. And I kind of have a roadmap in my mind of where this show is going to go for Sauron, which is exciting because I know from reading all the Tolkien stuff is that like he is going to do these things, and this is making the rings is the first thing on the sort of checklist. So I'm just like, knowing the journey, I'm just super excited. But what we don't know is, as you say, how he's going to interact with all these guys, particularly with the original characters. Like, who am I going to kill first?
I mean, you
Oh
have
gosh!
assumptions.
Please not let it be any of you guys.
I mean,
Or maybe you though, because Theo, tell me about your character. He's kind of a bit of a newbie in that we don't know as much about him. Tell me how he fits into it all.
So he's over in Numenor. By the time the Lord of the Rings books, you may know, have started, the island's gone.
Long gone.
Yeah. So when we meet him, it's still there. And he's had a lovely life, and he's feeling pretty good about it. But between the seasons, he's gone from somebody who was, really grateful for what he had and scared of losing it, to someone who's seen what else is available and wants it desperately. And season 2 is all about him trying to get as much power and responsibility and respect as he can in the shortest amount of time, which is a really bad way to go about it.
Yeah, no, not great.
Yeah. No earning, just taking.
Yeah, and knowing what we know about your world and what's going to happen to it, it's kind of even more exciting. It's like, how are you going to play a part in destroying that?
I'm sure I'll be an asset to the team.
Yeah, I can really see.
And Markella, you're off half-footing it around with the stranger. And how nice is that having Poppy along for the ride? Oh, spoiler alert.
I know, a bit of a spoiler. It's amazing. I mean, I think that I didn't know where Nori and the stranger were going to go in season 2 at the end of season 1, so it's really exciting to see them back together again, and in this season you really see them go on their own individual journeys as well, so they challenge each other as real friendships do, and they really push each other to find their own purpose within then the adventures with the stranger.
Yeah, I mean, as season 2 progresses, I feel more and more personally invested in Nori's journey. I'm like, she needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she
So
does.
watch
She
it.
does. So, I mean, how, like, do you all kind of feel a sense of ownership over your characters now that you've been rolling with them for, 4 years or longer in some cases? Yeah, what do you reckon, Tyroe? Do you feel...
I mean, it's crazy. We've spent so much, like, it was 2 years on the first season. It's been 2 years since that came out. We've spent so much time, like, in our characters' heads that it's almost like, I mean, I can speak for myself. It's like we're almost inseparable, as different as we are as people. I feel like I can tap in and out of his headspace, like,
that's
like
interesting.
that. Yeah, I feel like it gets to a point where you spend so much time with the character that it just comes naturally. Yeah, I mean, probably different for
And it just
Sauron.
deep. No, yeah, I feel exactly like Sauron all the time.
Yeah.
Too, you know,
I mean, when I look at you, I think, wow.
Yeah.
Evil.
You can do.
We're just the same thing now. It is funny because you do a show for this long and it kind of just starts to embed, right? What you're it just you can't. I never had the experience of doing a returning
Yeah.
series before this, and I'd heard of actors talking about how it really starts to deepen, and I know what they mean now because it just does. Just by living with the character, and you go and you do another job, and I look at myself doing another job, and I'm like, oh, that was a bit Sauron. That scene that I just did, you know.
Are you talking about your role in the Lost Flowers of
Oh
Alice
yeah,
Hart?
that's
Because
a
he
bit
was
of
a bit
Sauron in
Sauron
that,
as well. Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
'cause-
yeah.
I mean, I guess the potential for this to keep going. I mean, we know that the world keeps going, particularly your character, Charlie. Do you know yet about seasons coming up? I mean, obviously you're all still here physically, but I don't know if your characters will be by the end of season 2. Fingers
Have to wait
crossed.
and
We'll have to see.
Yeah, what do you know about what's ahead?
I mean, I have a roadmap for where I'm going, as I was saying, but we're often the last to find out. That's
Yeah,
what
we
I feel
genuinely. We'll find out when you find out.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably when anything is announced, we'll
Yeah.
find out. But I think the showrunners have a plan for what they want to do in terms of the canon story. Have they told you guys anything about where you might fit in?
I mean, I've got
ideas.
theories. And
Oh, you got some theories?
I pitch them all the time, and they won't give me any. So I mean, that's probably a reason behind it, but
Yeah.
we'll find out.
They definitely. I feel like they definitely take note of certain what we'd like to do, and they think, like JD. I was doing an interview the other day, and JD was like, "Who would you want to meet in the story?" and like took his
yeah.
notes out and just wrote it down. I was like,
Who'd you say?
JD.
Yeah.
I said, yeah,
Crazy
there's the best on my list. I would love that. I mean, everyone would be
Yeah.
amazing. But I know that obviously that might not be possible. We'll see.
But Tyroe, when we chatted the other day, you said that you would like to do some stuff with the Ents, and yeah, can you give us a little hint that
I mean,
what might be coming? Is it happening?
I may or may not have already done
Oh.
some stuff.
That's so cool though.
I don't know. Wait, can I say that? Yeah, I think I can.
I don't know. Oh, did you just do a spoiler?
No,
I
you
thought-
didn't say anything.
No,
You said may or may
Oh,
not.
yeah. There was a whole like thing
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, may or
so,
may not. Yeah, right.
So
for you though.
But that's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of cool. That's great that it's so collaborative though, that they're kind of like talking to you about what you think. I mean, Charlie, you went deep with your research, right? Like, what was the dialogue like between you and the two showrunners?
They were really helpful, particularly in seeing what, this Anatar form. We all spent a lot of time workshopping it and working out exactly how he moved and talked. And I think that's part of the process I love. And they're super collaborative on the day, even up to the point where you can be like, let's I want to move this line around.
Yeah.
And they
wow, that's
rewrite things on the day for
Yeah.
you. They'll change. There's always one of them there. They're very hands-on, which I think we all really appreciate as performers,
Yeah,
having
definitely.
that level of flexibility.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
great.
sure.
Have you had much feedback from the Tolkien estate and from the people involved? Like, what do they think? I mean,
That's a
do
good question.
do you ever get any dialogue with them?
I think they approve every scene. Like every
Oh, do
every
they?
scene that's
Wow.
filmed that goes into an episode has to go through approval. And Simon
Wow.
Tolkien is a consultant.
Yeah, they're
on
very
the show.
heavily involved.
So the
Yeah,
estate, I
that's-
think, but they're not involved with us.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think they just watch us from a distance, and
Yeah.
it's not a two-way communication.
Yeah,
So
but I think they've
interesting.
always like shown everything, obviously, and made sure that they approve it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's
Why did you point at Leon?
No, I pointed at you. I was like, which is what you said.
Oh,
oh, I love it.
but
They approve Leon.
They approve Leon.
They'd be
It
like,
was a tough meeting.
It's good.
Ooh.
Yeah, so going forward, I mean, what's next for you guys? The press tour's wrapping up. Where are you all off to? You back off to London, or
Well, I'm coming back to Perth.
you going back to Perth?
Going home for a bit.
Yeah.
Excited for that. Go to the beach.
Oh, it's pretty cold at the
gonna be
moment.
summer
I know,
soon, though.
but still, just to look at it, you know.
Yeah.
Just
touch the
Just
Indian
sit on the
Ocean.
edge.
Yeah,
Fast,
because you've been a long way from home, right?
It's been a while. It's a privilege, but at the same time, like home is home. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You never lose that, and it's always nice to just be back where you belong. You know, you always belong home. You know.
Yeah. What about you,
That's where
Markella? Are
the heart
you
is.
here, there?
I'm gonna spend a little bit of time in Melbourne, like only
nice.
a few days, and then I'm gonna go back to the UK.
Oh, great. And you guys are off as well?
Back to New Zealand tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where's home? Auckland?
I'm from Wellington. I live in Auckland
Oh,
now. Yeah.
right. Yeah, great.
On a job there until November. I have no
Oh,
idea.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that is?
I suppose so. It's a new comedy show that I'm making with some friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
So comedy, being a bad guy,
mostly-
Middle Earth.
Yeah, I'll take what's going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
He has comedic elements, doesn't
Yeah, you
he,
do.
Cameron?
Oh, I don't know. Do you reckon?
Oh, he's a funny guy, man.
Yeah, he is funny, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't think. Does
He
he,
doesn't
think
think
he's
it's
being
very
funny? Yeah, very
serious.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Charlie, what about you?
I'm going back to London tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, thank you so much for chatting with me, guys. It's been a pleasure, and I've really enjoyed what I've seen of season 2. Please don't die. You can die. Please don't die. We know what happens to you. You're a flaming eye, so you're all right in some ways.
Yeah, in some ways.
Yeah, thanks so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take
Yeah.
care.
See ya.